Hey guys, what's up? It's Asylum Reviews coming at you guys with my NXT and 205 Live results. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm like drained out. Chris and Richard, they came over last night and we filmed part 3 of our movie. And wow, that might have been probably the most energy we've ever wasted. Oh my god, man, I'm drained out. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. After NXT went off the air, I literally fell asleep for like an hour. It was crazy. I'm still tired. It sucks because I have to work in a bit. And I really don't want to go today. I hope it just fucking flies by. Because I could just get to meet AJ Styles tomorrow with Daniel. And then just hanging out the rest of the weekend with the boys. So. But yeah, we filmed episode 3 last night of the movie, and we did a lot of fighting scenes. First, me and Richard sparred for like a couple minutes, and then me and Chris did it, and he got me pretty good. I don't know if you can see that. Well, the marks are not really showing that much, but if I could just zoom in right there, yeah. You could see I got some marks on me, some wounds, but it's just from the movie. So, yeah, me and Chris, after I brawled with Richard, me and Chris we literally beat the shit out of each other for like 8 minutes. I'm not even kidding. It was like a back and forth. It felt like, I don't know if it felt like wrestling, but it felt like an actual fight. It was pretty good though. So we evenly matched with each other, so it was good. But yeah, we're gonna be filming the final part. We decided that, I said it last week, there's gonna be 4 parts of the movie. Chris decided on it. We filmed part 3 yesterday, and we're filming the final part, the finale of the movie, Saturday. So stay tuned for that. And somebody you haven't seen on in my house or on my channel for a while is Emmanuel, and Emmanuel is gonna be actually in the movie. He's gonna be playing I think what's his name, Grimace or something like that, or whatever. So just stay tuned for that. And don't mind me if I sound like this, but guys, I am literally just fucking tired from last night. So anyways, but yeah, 205 Live and NXT. So here we go. So 205 Live kicked off. Drake Maverick ran through this #1 contender tournament so far. He said 205 Live will become the destination for the Cruiserweight Wrestling in 2019. That's why he brought NXT's Oney Lorcan into the tournament. Cedric Alexander was hyped up as having achieved his lifelong dream of becoming Cruiserweight Champion last year, but he may not even get out of the first round as he faces Akira Tozawa in the main event. Oney Lorcan video package showed of his best work in NXT. Lorcan said he adapts his style to anyone he wrestles, and beating in the tournament gives him a chance to compete at WrestleMania. Oney Lorcan sees his style working well against Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy. Nigel McGuinness put Lorcan over huge in his intro before Carrillo came down. Carrillo's presentation needs an overhaul. His Times New Roman name Onlytron does him no favors when he's being treated like a push act. He cuts a selfie promo saying that Lorcan is tough, but Carrillo said he came to 205 Live to face the best and fight for his dreams. So we get into the match. This was a great match. Definitely one of Carrillo's best since being on 205 Live, and this was Oney Lorcan's first match on 205 Live, so this is really good for him too. So we're going to go over here. So Lorcan traps Carrillo into the ropes, while Aiden English said it's important that Lorcan not hit Carrillo in his beautiful dimpled face. Carrillo landed a running Rana and narrowly avoided a half-and-half suplex. Carrillo got a long headlock when he got thrown off, and Lorcan applied one of his own. Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher were shown watching the match backstage, with Gulak wearing a custom t-shirt with Carrillo's face and Gallagher being fashioned into a sweater vest with the same design. Lorcan trashed Carrillo into the corner with a lariat and then got a long chinlock. Lorcan landed a series of hard chops in the corner, but Carrillo recovered and sent him out for a suicide dive. Lorcan went for a baseball slide, but Carrillo evaded and hit a flip dive to the floor. That was a cool spot. Carrillo went for a springboard move, but Lorcan landed a big uppercut and a fisherman buster on the apron. That was pretty cool as well. He spiked him with that fisherman driver on the apron. Lorcan ate a big super kick, and Carrillo went to follow it up with something, but he slipped and went for it again before landing the Liger bomb for the 2 count. Carrillo tried to hit a moonsault off the top rope, but Lorcan got his feet up. A giant lariat and a half-and-half suplex got the win for Lorcan, so only Lorcan picks up the win, and he advances to the next round of the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. And he'll find out who he faces next week on the show. So we still got Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander in the main event. Backstage, we have Mike and Maria Kanellis talking to Drake Maverick about Mike being promised a match in the tournament. But Drake never said that this match was going to be in the tournament. He just said he's going to give him a match. And he told him to look at his win-loss record. And he said, if you want to be successful on this brand, then you have to win more matches. Because your winning-loss streak isn't doing so good right now. So so Maverick told him he's going to have a match with just a local competitor, just a jobber, just so Mike can get some offense in and show that he's best and he's able to do what he wants to do, and that is to be the best on 205 Live. And then Maria calls her husband the best cruiserweight in the world, and I'm sure Buddy Murphy would have to disagree with that. So he comes in and he faces Colby Corino. I have no idea who this guy was, but he kind of reminded me of a teenage CM Punk, when CM Punk used to have the blonde hair and he had the tattoos and shit. I mean, this guy didn't have any tattoos, but like he had like the crazy blonde hair that CM Punk used to have when Punk was wrestling in like high school days. But yeah, Colby was mentioned by Joey Styles at commentary during Steve Corino's first ECW pay-per-view match and is now wrestling on WWE television. Colby's blonde dye job is astounding. So I guess this guy was on ECW. I don't know. Vic Joseph started the match out by saying that Mike's win-loss record isn't impressive, while Nigel McGuinness in one of the best low-key lines in a while said that that's only the case if you look at the numbers. So this match really never started because Mike just beat the shit out of this kid with a ton of kicks and then hit the crossroads finish that he does. And then they announced it as a no contest, and then and then we just go backstage. So Tony Nese cuts a selfie promo, looking forward to facing Drew Gulak in the tournament semifinals next week, and beating him now because he's better than he was last year when Gulak defeated him. Cedric Alexander said he cares about 205 Live more than anyone else and will do whatever he can to beat Akira Tozawa and move on to the tournament. And he also stated that if there's any man on this brand that cares about 205 Live more than someone else, it's me. So you can easily tell that Cedric cares about being on 205 Live because he was probably one of the best cruiserweight champions that they ever had at the time. I mean, he was undefeated for nearly a year. So we're gonna get to the match: Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa. This was a fun match. This was definitely one of the best matches on the show, and I think this match is going to be talked about a lot. So they did a lot of mat work to start things out before Alexander got a modified victory roll for a 2 count. Tozawa sent Alexander out and went for a suicide dive, but ate a knee to the gut, and then a double knee gut buster got the 2 count. Alexander worked the stomach more with a big takedown and reverse bear hug. Tozawa sent him down, but a senton attempt was met with the knees. Alexander worked the back, but he was met with a series of chops. Tozawa sent him outside and landed a suicide headbutt that sent Alexander into the announce table hard. They got a big 205 Live chant from that. Alexander worked the stomach more for a big takedown and reverse bear. Oh no, I never said that. Tozawa landed a missile dropkick from 2/3 of the way across the ring and got a 2 count. Alexander escaped from the iron octopus hold and hit a slingshot flatliner for a 2. Alexander hit a series of big forearms for the jaw before Tozawa landed a chop. Akira Tozawa avoided a lumbar check and then avoided another one with a wonky Rana counter for a 2 count. Oh my god, that was crazy. He literally, it was insane. He hit the reverse Rana. They see a lot of superstars do. And I'm telling you, he really spiked Cedric on that. Cedric landed hard on his head, and that was a crazy spot. After that, the crowd went fucking crazy. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because that's just an awesome spot that they always do. Tozawa landed. They hit. No, okay, yeah. Tozawa hit a desperation DDT and leaving an inverted roundhouse for a 2 count. They hit double elbows before Tozawa took Alexander down with a grounded version of the Iron Octopus. Alexander tried to escape till Tozawa got a deadlift German suplex. Tozawa went for the senton, but Alexander grabbed him and hit the lumbar check for the win. Now, this was really cool because the way Cedric hit the lumbar check in this match was devastating. He literally fucking picked up Tozawa. He deadlifted him from the fucking mat and then just spiked him with the lumbar check, and he picked up the win. And then afterwards, the two men just hugged it out and shook hands after the match, and it was great. It was a fantastic match. Like I said, if you expected Tozawa and Buddy Murphy to fucking steal the show at Elimination Chamber, then you wouldn't expect the same. That you would expect the same with Cedric Alexander and Akira Tozawa. So that was fucking great, man. And next week we're having, in the tournament semifinals, we're having Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese. This is a rematch from last year's tournament. And we're also having Cedric Alexander versus Oni Lorcan. So that's going to be good. So yeah, 205 Live was a way better show than it was last week, no doubt. And yeah. So this week's episode of NXT, I really, really enjoyed it. And it was all based on the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic. They said 2 weeks ago the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic was returning, like it always does. And this episode was just... This was the longest episode of NXT to date. This lasted an hour and 15 minutes, 13 minutes, around there. And it was just based off of 4 matches. It was the first 4 first round matches in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic tournament. So that's all it was. And then we had a little like 5-second promo with Matt Riddle and Velveteen Dream. So we'll talk about that. So we kicked off the show where Aleister Black and Ricochet taking on the European Union, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel. This was a fucking hard-hitting match. This was a great match. JD stated it best on his review, and I saw his review before I wanted to do my review. He stated it best. If you don't know who Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel are, you got to check them out from NXT UK, and then they're, of course, they're on NXT as well, but they're mostly familiar with NXT UK. Man, these guys are fucking amazing as a tag team. If you thought Fabian Aichner was great as a singles competitor, and you didn't really know who Marcel Bartel was at the time, just put these two together and you have a fucking great tag team right there. JD said it best that they remind him of the NXT version of The Bar, because they're two hard-hitting guys and they know how to put on a good showing. So they took on Black and Ricochet. Black and Aichner get things started. Black works his way out of a wrist lock and goes right into a side headlock. Aichner fights out of it, but looks for an early pin and not even a 1 count. He sends Black into the corner, tags in Barthel, looks for a clothesline. Black counters with a few ducks, flips, lands a big cover for a 1 count. Aleister leaps off the second rope, gets caught with a European uppercut. Black really getting worked on over by both his opponents. He's trying to get to Ricochet, but he gets kicked in the face for it. Aichner tried to knock down Ricochet, but he misses. Black with a slow sweep kick that allows him to get to Ricochet. Ricochet tags in, he fights out both his opponents, and he hits a nice cutter DDT combo. I love when Ricochet does that. He goes for a tornado DDT, and he just jumps over the other guy and just spikes the other guys. He does that. Springboard uppercut, lands standing shoot, star press, and he gets a 2 count. Ricochet heads to the top rope and gets kicked in the head. Bartel tosses Ricochet to Aichner for a brain buster. Aichner hits a double springboard moonsault, and that was fucking crazy, man. A big man like that, Fabian Aichner, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. He would literally fucking, he jumped on this top rope, and then he jumped on another rope, and he did a springboard moonsault. Fucking beautiful. He nailed that fucking perfectly, but he got a close 2 count with that. And Ricochet kicked out. So Bartel tosses Ricochet to Aichner for a brainbuster. Aichner hits a double springboard moonsault for the cover 2. The crowd loves the spot, of course. He looks for a powerbomb, but Ricochet's able to counter, hits a dropkick instead, but his momentum is stopped. He tags in Aleister Black, hits a springboard double knee strike on Bartel. That was cool, but it sent shoulder first into the ring post. Basement dropkick on Aleister. That was another cool spot. They had they set Aleister Black up in the trio woe position, and I don't remember who it was. I think it was Marcel Bartel that was outside of the ring, and then Fabian Aichner was in the ring, or it was the other way around. So one man was just did the basement drop kick from the corner of the ring, and the other one literally did it all the way around the ring, and they both hit Black with that basement drop kick. So that was awesome. Ricochet clears out Bartel with a suicide dive. Black with the second rope moonsault. He catches him, but Black fights out of it and clocks him with the Black Mass for the win. Just like that. And Aleister Black and Ricochet advance. Mustache Mountain are getting ready for the match. And you see the NXT Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders, standing there backstage. It was announced after we saw the fantastic match with Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic. They're going to be getting another chance to do it. They showed a little video from the Performance Center where I saw Drew Gulak wearing a SmackDown shirt. It was very interesting. So I saw Drew Gulak, I saw Danny Burch, Keith Lee, and then eventually Dijakovic came in, and he said you wanted to finish this, Keith Lee, let's finish this now. And then the video cut off, and now it was been announced that Keith Lee and Dijakovic are going to go at it in 2 weeks in NXT in their second match. So that's going to be fucking good. I'm hoping it's going to be better than the first match. If not, then could we get something similar to the first match, but it's definitely going to be a fucking instant classic, no doubt. So that's going to be good. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. I don't know what it is about the Forgotten Sons, man, but I'm just like, I'm not really into their gimmick, and I'm not really a fan of them. Like, they are a great tag team in the ring, and JD stated it best that Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake are definitely the best pairing of the three. But yeah, I mean, like, their gimmick is just, I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. But so yeah, Burch and Cutler get it started. Not much for either man. Blake gets a blind tag and hits a backbreaker. Blake continues to focus on the back as Cutler tags him in, whipping Lorcan into the corner. Double backbreaker to Lorcan for a 2 count. They hit another one cover and just a 1 count. Cutler with some knee drops took Lorcan's back, and Lorcan's back was the story of this match because at one point Danny Burch trying to get Lorcan to do the finisher they do, where one man hams him up in like the cutter position, and the other one just drives up the DDT. They tried to do that once, and they couldn't do it because Lorcan's back gave out. So, but they eventually hit it later on. So Lorcan gets put in the tree wall as Blake hits a cannonball on him for a 2 count. The crowd is now cheering for Oney Lorcan. He gets back into the corner as he tags in Burch, who hits a dropkick on Blake. Cutler is able to tag him, but instantly gets a German suplex. Danny Burch with the clothesline in the corner, the enziguri, second rope dropkick, the kip up. Lorcan gets tagged in. His back gives out as they try for the double team move, just like I stated. Burch gets tossed out of the ring. Cutler gets nailed with an uppercut, but Lorcan with a leap out to the floor on Blake. Cutler with the massive lariat, backbreaker for a cover 2. Cutler with the Boston Crab in the middle of the ring, just targeting Lorcan's back. He nearly gets to the ropes and is pulled back. Burch comes in and headbutts Cutler. Burch is tagged in. He doesn't have much luck as his opponents plant him in the mat. Lorcan tags. He chops away on both opponents while holding his back. He throws Cutler into Blake. Double blockbuster. But Burch tags in with the high elevation DDT hits for a close 2 count. Blake breaks it up. Lorcan hits the top rope, caught in midair, and he hits the double stomper reverse DDT spot that they normally do, and they hit their finisher, and the Forgotten Sons pick up the win. So now we're having the Forgotten Sons advancing into the tournament. Now, I did mention Velveteen Dream, the NXT North American Champion. He had a little theme with Matt Riddle, so we're just talking about this here. So Velveteen Dream's music hits, and he strolls out on the commentary table, and he gets the mic. Dream says he just wanted to remind everyone that he's the NXT North American Champion. He had another reminder, but Matt Riddle's music hits, and just how Matt Riddle is, bro, to be honest, I just came out here to say hi and congratulate you about your title victory. Riddle says, but real talk, he can't help but wonder what the title would look like around his waist one day. Dream then tells Riddle he must be really on cloud 9 and the Dream is not his bro. I laughed at that. He says the spotlight belongs to him. He snaps his fingers, and just like that, he gets the spotlight thrown on him. So it looks like we could get in a program with Matt Riddle and the Velveteen Dream at TakeOver New York. That should be interesting. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, they talk about Bianca Belair. Bianca Shirai says Bianca Belair is good, but she hasn't beat Baszler, and like she did. Sane says both she and Shirai deserve the title, but right now it's Shirai's time and her opportunity, and she believes her friend can win. So now it was announced that Bianca Belair and Io Shirai are going at it next week on NXT, where the winner will face Bianca Belair, or not Bianca Belair. The winner will face Shayna Baszler at NXT TakeOver New York for the women's title. We get into the Street Profits and the Mustache Mountain match. I don't know. The crowd was split. I love both teams. Very, very over with both teams exactly. But I mean, like, this was just back and forth, and it was just fucking great. So yeah, the crowd is split for this one as Bate and Ford get things started. A side headlock by Bate. Ford gets out of it for the moment, but Bate reapplies it. He tries to in for a monkey flip, but Montez Ford lands on his feet. Dawkins is tagged in. Shoulder block cover for a 1 count. Bate with the enziguri. 7 is tagged in. Drops Dawkins. Bate with the front flip with the assist of 7. Dawkins with a big spinning elbow. Ford is tagged in. They stomp away at 7 in the corner. The snapmare and the big kick to the back for a midsection under 2 count. The neck crank on 7, who fight out of a big chop DDT, and both men are down. Bate and Dawkins are both in. Bate with some punches. Diving European uppercut off the second rope. Running your uppercut. Release, overhead suplex, kip up for the cover, and Ford breaks it up. 7 launches Ford over the top rope and to the floor. Bate and Dawkins with the back and forth strikes cover. 7 breaks things up. Montez Ford with the big leap over the top rope to clear out 7. Bate looks for the Tyler Driver 97, but Dawkins counters with a spine buster. Ford with the high elevation frog splash, and my god, man, I don't know if I talked about this before, but whenever Montez Ford does that frog splash off the top rope, man, that thing is a thing of beauty. He gets so much fucking height, like it's not even funny. This guy looks like he jumps 15 or 20 feet in the air just to do one frog splash. It's insane. It's fucking beautiful. And again, I would not want to be on the receiving end of that, especially with a man that high. Jesus Christ. And Tyler Bate kicks out of that. Ford can't believe it. He tags in Dawkins. Dawkins put Bates on his shoulder, but 7 takes out Dawkins with the dragon suplex on the apron to clear out Ford. Bate with the stalled German suplex on Dawkins. 7 tags in with the torture rack position, and I don't know what it was, but they tried. Trent 7, he tried to lift up Dawkins, but for some reason his back gave out. And he even said, he's like, oh, my back. And while Tyler Bate was on the top rope, he did like a knee spot. And he didn't really get all of it because, like I say, he dropped. Because Trent 7 dropped Angelo Dawkins as he was going for the move. And so it was a little botch, but somehow they managed to pick up the win with that. And Dawkins was out. And, man, let me just say, holy shit. You all know Tyler Bate is a fucking powerhouse. You all know he's the big strong boy is what they call him. But holy shit. That was just fucking impressive how he literally just deadlifted a man like Angelo Dawkins, twice his size, and then he just fucking dropped him with the German suplex. Unbelievable strength, man. The scary, scary strength by Tyler Bate. And remind you, the man is only 22 years old and he can do crazy shit like this. Unbelievable. Fucking great. So Mustache Mountain pick up the win and they advance to the tournament. And we get into the final match, the main event. We have the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly taking on a reunited DIY and Tommaso Ciampa, the NXT champion, and Johnny Gargano. So Gargano and Ciampa come out to their own to the music, of course, but they meet up to the stage. All of a sudden, the old DIY music hits, and it was great because it just brought back so many memories. DIY, man, everybody loves DIY. The crowd was clapping along to the theme song. It was great. Man. So, DIY is officially reunited in the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic. So the match starts. We have Gargano and Bobby Fish in there. Gargano with a couple arm drags. Fish quickly tags out to O'Reilly. Ciampa heads in and works over O'Reilly's arm. But Fish is tagged back, but Ciampa stops away on Fish in the corner. Gargano's tagged in. He tries in for a cover, but no luck. Gargano hits a suicide dive on O'Reilly on the outside. The neckbreaker by Ciampa in the ring. Gargano tags in. Boots O'Reilly in the face. He gets sent into the apron. O'Reilly able to get away and tag in Fish. A sweep kick to Gargano on the apron. Back in the ring, the snap suplex and the cover for the 2 count. Both Fish and O'Reilly work over Johnny Wrestling in the corner. The crowd is very much in DIY's corner, of course. Gargano fighting out of his corner. O'Reilly with a punch to Johnny. A wheelbarrow DDT on Gargano. Fish then with the body lock. Gargano's getting worked over, but he gets a window for a tag. O'Reilly pulls Gargano off the apron. He gets rid of O'Reilly and is finally tagged in. Tommaso Ciampa with the kick to Kyle O'Reilly, another boot to Bobby Fish, sending him to the floor. O'Reilly tries for a sweep kick, but Ciampa leaps over it and drops a knee on O'Reilly's neck. That looked pretty brutal. Running knee in the corner, the Tower of London for a cover, and he gets a 2 count. Ciampa with the deadlift suplex holds on, hits another. Fish tries to help his partner out. Gargano kicks him off and the cannonball off the apron. Ciampa with the big blue thunder bomb, and he gets a 2 count. Gargano tags in O'Reilly. Gargano tags in, but O'Reilly kicks Ciampa. Gargano with the boots of Fish on the floor. The slingshot spear, but O'Reilly with a fucking beautiful counter. As Gargano goes with the slingshot spear, O'Reilly just counters it with the guillotine choke. It was a great spot there. Gargano stands up with O'Reilly. Ciampa with a knee to the side of the head, cover for the 2 count. You get back and forth strikes by O'Reilly, and Gargano that finishes with both superstars taking each other out. On the apron, Ciampa tries to suplex Fish into the floor, but no luck. Ciampa heads to the top rope. Fish follows up, but he gets shoved off. O'Reilly with the distraction. Fish with the kick to the head. Fish heads to the top and nails a Super Michinoku driver. That was a great spot. Tommaso sold the shit out of that. O'Reilly follows up for 2, goes right into the submission, but Fish with the diving headbutt on Ciampa. Gargano just shoves Bobby Fish into Ciampa and O'Reilly to break the hold. The spike DDT hits by Ciampa. He gets the DDT, spikes Kyle O'Reilly with that, and right away he tags in Gargano, and Gargano hits the signature slingshot DDT, spikes O'Reilly right on his fucking head, and somehow O'Reilly kicks out. I was like, what? I thought that match was over right there. So Bobby Fish gets taken out of the equation, and DIY hits their signature running knee super kick combo, and that was how DIY advanced into the Dusty Rhodes Tag-Team Classic. So that was fucking great. After the match, DIY celebrate as the War Raiders head out to the stage and hold the titles up. And the semifinals are announced for next week. The Mustache Man will be taking on the Forgotten Sons, and DIY will be taking on Aleister Black and Ricochet. That's going to be a fucking clinic, man. I can't wait to see that. So yeah, overall, both shows delivered, and I really enjoyed it. This is fucking great, man. Something about Tommaso Ciampa came up last night, and I got to bring it up, but I'm not going to bring it up in this video. I'm going to talk about it in the next video, so just stay tuned for that. But the way Ciampa fought in this match, it really looked like he didn't have any injuries, but there is something seriously going on with Tommaso Ciampa, and I just pray to God that this man recovers as soon as he possibly can, because we do not want to see Ciampa out for so long. But we'll see what happens. So we'll talk about that in the next video. So hope you guys enjoyed my 205 Live NXT review. Again, I apologize if I sound really, really out of it or tired or whatever, but I mean, you'll see what I mean. Once part 3 of the movie comes up on Chris's channel, you will see exactly what I mean. I'm telling you, we just fucking wasted so much energy. We just fucking literally beat the shit out of each other, and it was just great, man. So wait until you guys just see what we did. But yeah, if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, RKO the like button out of nowhere, just like we always do. And tap the bell for notifications so you get all my future uploads coming shortly. And yeah, I am drained out, so I'll see you all in the next one. Too sweet.